Welcome. I would like to pose a question. Would you be willing to take $1,000 cut to your paycheck? How about 600? No? 200? Nobody willingly says, I'll take less, please. Yet, isn't that what we do? We buy things on credit. We borrow against our overdraft because we want something right now. We aren't willing to plan ahead and save. Instead, we go into debt. The average household has a combined debt of about $133,000. I want you to think about where your family falls into that debt. There is hope. You can get out of debt and stay out of debt. You can enjoy an abundance on any budget. Before I chose to create a budget for our family, I believed that I couldn't do it, that we didn't have an extra penny to put away in savings. We had over $200,000 in debt, and I thought we were tighter than tight. The truth is, everyone, no matter their circumstances, can and should create a budget, a plan for their family finances. Once I had a change of heart, nothing could stop us from succeeding. You see, it wasn't about our money, how much money we made, how much we owed, that made the difference. No, it was my attitude. Once I decided to take the invitation from my husband to create a budget and manage our spending together with purpose, something magical happened. Suddenly, we found all kinds of ways to cut back. And in 4 years, I repeat that, 4 years, we had everything paid off. Now we are living like no one else. How did we do it? I will give you the step-by-step way in the next few minutes. Step 1. Attitude is the first big obstacle standing between us and our goals. Let's identify the excuses we use that keep us from success. Let's name a few of the excuses. What can you think of? Here's some I came up with. We don't make enough money. Our debts are too high. We have too much responsibility. Do these sound familiar? These were my excuses. And the list goes on. But in the end, none of that really matters. It's not the real issue. The truth is, it doesn't matter how much money we make or we don't make. It doesn't matter how much debt we have. In the end, it's our attitude. Now, what if we're trying to have a good attitude and we just can't do it on our own? By inviting the Spirit in this process, we can succeed. Heavenly Father wants us to succeed. He will help us with our attitude. He will help us have that change of heart. He will help us on every step along the way. We just need to ask. All right, step 2. We've learned that the numbers don't really matter. It's our heart that needs to change. It's a willingness to take that leap and just do it. So let's budget. Let's brainstorm some expenses that you can think of. All right, now we've come up with a list of expenses and incomes that we can create a budget, but it will require some fine-tuning over the coming months. One way to fine-tune is to budget to zero before each month begins. How do we do this? If you notice, on this budget, they have the total income at the top and all the expenses are in red. And the total at the end is zero. Don't forget to pay yourself and to put money away in savings. An emergency fund of $1,000 is a good place to start. Another reason we want to go over the budget monthly is because every month is different. Keep track of everything. Be honest about your expenditures. This will help you succeed. You can use spreadsheets or programs to keep track of your spending. There's Excel, Quicken, Mint. As we budget, let's remember to be grateful. At the very top of that list, we should have our tithing. Give an honest tenth of our income to the Lord and be generous in our fast offerings. Another thing to consider is the credit card and the envelope system. Now, to determine how best your family stays on budget, let's just talk about the two systems. The envelope system is done by putting money into labeled envelopes according to categories. And now when the money is gone, then you are done in that category until the next month. If you have an emergency come up, in the end, if you must borrow from another envelope, it's important to know what a true emergency is and isn't. Always decide together if you should borrow money from another category. And if seeing all of this money kind of leads you to just spend free nilly-willy and it's not working, then maybe the debit card system is better. You just have to keep track of everything in each category in the credit card or debit card system. The important thing is to always have money, always have cash in the bank to back up every purchase. You need to keep track of all of your spending just as if it was in an envelope. And if you need to borrow money from another category because you have an emergency that comes up, then together you talk about it before doing so. It's a joint decision. And this helps you stay on track and not impulse buy. And if you find you can't do this, then go back to the envelope system. Tip: always pay your credit card off every single month if you're doing the credit card system. So step 3, the snowball debt reduction. Dave Ramsey suggests starting with your smallest debt or your easiest debt to pay off and pay that down until it's paid off. And then you can take that amount and apply it to your next one. Now the first one is usually your highest interest rate loans like your credit card. For me, it was the credit card. All right, you start with the smallest and easiest debt to pay off. These are usually the highest. Here's example. Credit card is paid off, and then all that is total is put onto the next one, which is your auto loan, and then the next one after that is the medical, and then your mortgage. And so you see the snowball effect. It just, the amount that's getting paid gets larger as each one gets paid off, and that whole amount is put towards the next one. We can use windfalls to help in this snowball debt reduction to pay down our debts. Let's name, what are a few you can think of? Let me just tell you a few that I thought of. Tax returns, bonuses, yearly cost of living increases to your paycheck. All those things can be applied to it. You can use financial calculators for inspiration. Careful, it can get quite addicting to pay down your debt. I found it very, I really enjoyed it. So step 4, living within your means. You need to weed out impulse purchases, emotional purchases. And here are some examples of what they could be. Start with, so we want to save for what we want. We want to use online calculators. Now that we've paid off our debt, we're learning to live within our means. Now we have this money that we're used to living without, and we can now buy a new car that we've been having our eye on, or we can save money for that home that we really want. Whatever, sky's the limit. We've paid off our debts. There's that big amount of money. What do we want? Now we can live like no one else. One of Dave Ramsey's, my favorite quotes of his, if you will live like no one else, later you can live like no one else. So through hard work and determination, anyone can get out of debt and stay out. The key is a positive attitude and a willingness to change the way we see money and how we use it. Ask yourself, do you want the freedom to live like no one else? Take the challenge today. Start by making a budget and spending and saving your money with a purpose. Thank you.